What's good? What's good? What's goody? It's your buzzing cousin Ghost Boogie, man. Check it out. We've got the one and only Rob Kelly in the house. And it's only right we start with this video right here, y'all. Let's get into it. Jack the Ripper.
Hey lads, let's go.
Tattooed in holy pictures, but far removed from the scriptures. God flow, I put the Holy Ghost in the listener. Rob though, take no back chat from no mister. All misses, I get you wrapped up like a Christian. I wet your head like you're baptized. Nowadays, everybody wanna try and play a bad guy. Good actors telling mad lies. Stick 'em in the ground like cat's eyes. Audi A4 with the big wheels. Nice lingerie and some sick heels. I pour my ashes on a soundboy, testing them. Mad lying like they used to run with KRS in them. Sinister rap, put your head in your hat. Hit your wifey on the neck, leave her dead in your lap. I stay fresh like Dougie. Up jump the boogie in a pair of Timberlands, all time like Snooki. I don't really think they want beef with this squad. I creep through the hills and I creep through the fog. I'm so out of control, my ego's getting bigger. I'm killing this bitch, you can call me Jack the Ripper. I said beef with the squad. I creep through the hills and I creep through the fog. I'm so out of control, my ego's getting bigger. I'm killing this bitch, you can call me Jack the Ripper. Fresh no gear, kicking stupid raps. Right. On a motorbike like Super Cat. Singing the ghetto red hot in a 91 Mazda with a ghetto head on. I'm a dirty rap singer, singing filth, flying filth with a brass knuckle on me that'll twist your lip. They can call you Tommy Two Melts. I'll put the dude out. These rappers on my nerves pull a fucking tooth out. So play me sweet, get a cavity. I'll have your front door looking like the fucking Sons of Anarchy. So have a think if you wanna go. One call, I send the bikers to your door like dominoes. Geronimo with the knife in me teeth. Put it to your neck when you're with your wife in the sheets. I tell her big up, it's a stick up. Dumb bitches calling me, I don't pick up. I don't really think they want beef with the squad. I creep through the hills and I creep through the fog. I'm so out of control, my ego's getting bigger. I'm killing this bitch, you can call me Jack the Ripper. I said beef with the squad. I creep through the hills and I creep through the fog. I'm so out of control, my ego's getting bigger. I'm killing this bitch, you can call me Jack the Ripper.
I got the wild style.
My microphone set is a Michelin brick wall.
I got the wild style.
I flip flows you can't imagine.
I got the wild style.
My microphone set is a Michelin brick wall.
I got the wild style.
Nasty at this. It's the rap game, Jack Dempsey, Jaw, Paul Gigolo. Headboard going bam bam like Bigelow. Fuck your little label and your bullshit single. I've been nice since Moni was in the motherfucking middle. Singing Moni, where you at? In the middle, I was little, still slept on. Got the fucking pillow and the dribble. They say do a song with me, Rob, boy, you're a bad man. No, you won't have Rob in, but you get the Batman. Fuck snotty dude, you're the lottie-dottie crew. You don't cause trouble and you don't bother nobody. You don't want it with Bobby, you get smacked in the face. And if I ever see you in public, I'm catching a case. Shook at no one, you don't instill terror in Kel. A big bastard, plus I rap terribly well. Kel Terrible, your favorite DJ, give me the replay. And you can't even try to fuck around with ROBK. I don't really think they want beef with the squad. I creep through the hills and I creep through the fog. I'm so out of control, my ego's getting bigger. I'm killing this bitch, you can call me Jack the Ripper. I said beef with the squad. I creep through the hills and I creep through the fog. I'm so out of control, my ego's getting bigger. I'm killing this bitch, you can call me Jack the Ripper.
Peace, peace, peace. Salute. Welcome in, y'all, to B-Boys Underground episode. We over almost 200 now. This one, we are international at this moment. We've had a couple of international episodes so far, and this is now one of them, in addition to having Romania, having South Africa. Tyler Linkman's currently on tour with the Linkman Habits, but this one, and Beat Shack's official is out there too. Romania, salute. We're going to be doing something real soon with you. But this one here, man, this is Rob Kelly. And Rob Kelly is out of Ireland, and out of Wexford, Ireland, to be exact. And he's not here for small talk or industry fairy tales. You know, basically, the one thing is that this is an individual. When you listen to his catalog, you will tell and be able to tell just by his bars that he knows his hip hop history, and he knows exactly what is dope. And I can't wait to get into this conversation. So without further ado, it's my privilege and my honor to welcome all the way from Wexford, Ireland, the one and only Rob Kelly. Salute. Welcome to B-Boys Underground, fam. How are you, fam?
Peace, bro. Thanks for having me on. I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good.
Yes, yes. Well, hey, look, man, salute and welcome in. And again, man, Jack the Ripper, man, that song is sick, man. And the video is sick as hell, too. And I know you've got a great story to talk about just the video alone. And what I always say, and if you're new here to B-Boys Underground, welcome in. We do this every single Wednesday live and also pop-ups. And just stay tuned on our Instagram for whenever we pop up. But whenever we have any videos or songs, we always say it's very rare that an artist has an opportunity to speak directly to the folks who may have just seen or heard something for the first time, or, you know, a million times, but never got to hear what really went on in your mind and what you went through. Any type of dope anecdotal stories that go along with the video, and to help
Yeah.
add some additional quality or some gems to it.
Yeah, so that was about 10 years in. So we're going to try and go chronologically as much as we can. And we'll flip back, I guess, or pivot back to the beginning after this. But that was about 10 years in. At the time, I had been to the UK pretty much for the couple of years preceding that. And in the UK, the flavor was at the time I did Fire in the Boot. We'll come back to that, I guess. But I was kind of red hot on Radio 1 Extra with a couple of songs that were borderline, not pop songs, but songs that get you to a certain level, that you get a certain amount of airplay, and that
Yes.
royalty money would let you sustain your creative control otherwise, right? So we're shooting for the stars. And one of the records I had done, it did really well, but the way it was over here, it's different. There's no hip hop infrastructure. So you're trying to get into radio stations to accept you, and they might say, yeah, we'll take him to the studio, but he has to bring an acoustic guitar with him, or some just load of funky shit was going on in the
Gatekeeping stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, after a certain time, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm not playing this game because I don't need to take this route. I'm already, like, I have a route to America, I have a route to the UK. I don't really need to play these games. So I was just like, make what you want, right? So
Yeah.
I had that one. I think I had lined up like a Noisy debut for that one. So it was supposed to originally debut on the Noisy YouTube channel.
Okay.
There's a lot of conflicts of interest at Noisy. I wasn't signed to Noisy, so I ended up getting downgraded to the blog release, right? That people don't know about. I've never told that story to them, but I ended up getting downgraded to a blog post, which would link to the YouTube track. But originally, the video was going to go on Noisy, so we shot it with the intention that it would go across to the Noisy audience. So I'm a big fan of Snatch, the movie, right?
Oh, man.
Richie.
Yes. I love that movie.
I particularly love Brad Pitt in that film. So I always had the vision that, like, if I get on, well, I never got on, but if I got on, I always had this vision of that I do the, you know, the way, like, so many different hip hop videos and parodied movies over the years. I was like, I'm going to do Snatch if I ever get on. So I never got on, but we managed to somehow rustle up that video on like €400. And I think €200 of it was sponsored and I never got paid. Shout out John Lambert. John Lambert, who did that video, went on to do great things in Ireland behind the camera, but he directed a couple of my videos. So Dropkick that one.
Wow.
Want to do him a disservice, but we pulled off miracles for that. So we went
Dude,
to
$450 in that video looked
yeah,
brilliant.
like we had like, you know, shout out to everybody that was on that video. I can't name everybody by name, but they know who they are. Like we pulled together.
We showed their cast.
Pulled together something special for that one. Like we went up to a place called Hollywood in County Wicklow, up to the mountains to shoot the rallying scene. We broke into a factory somewhere in Kildare, allegedly, and shot some of it. So yeah, it was good fun. Like it was good stuff. So that video did, and the song kind of stood the test of time. So I was kind of right to stick to my guns on that one, like because that one was maybe where I didn't know where I was going, you know, that way. So I
Tell
kind of
what year that was for everybody.
was 2000. I don't know, bro. I think it was 2013, maybe.
Yeah, so the video was posted on this one,
Patrick's Day,
March 15th, 2013, right?
So they were, they were releasing it as like Patrick's Day. It was supposed to go on Noisy's channel. If it had gone on Noisy's channel, it'd probably be sitting on a couple of million now, like, but didn't go that way.
That one hit. I mean, just the video but also the of course the beat, and you know, let's just not, you know, gloss over your bars, what held it together. So salute to you on that one, fam, because you killed that shit. And you know, transitioning back, yes, getting back into like, let's rewind and take a moment to go backwards and start at the beginning, right? And you know, like we always do about this time, we ask this question, and you know, basically I'm asking you, please tell everybody and tell me, I want to know about your first memory that you have associated with hip hop. Put me in the room and let me know what's going on.
And I thought about this a lot because there's a couple of different points that are in the same space of years. So I know I was fully immersed by 1990 because it was a BBC TV show called Dance Energy, hosted by a guy called Normski, and he used to have in-studio performances with like Tribe, Fushnikins, Third Base, Naughty, everyone. Like, and it was a magazine show, so it used to document like the movie Juice was coming out. You get little tidbits. The Word was on Channel 4 on a Friday night. They used to have in-studio live performances too. Yeah, Public Enemy on that, Onyx, Snoop. But way before that, I remember taping off the radio in '87 off the, like, you know, the old radios or whatever, where you're tuned in and you have the double cassette, whatever. So I remember taping off the radio. Maybe I'm wrong with the year, but it was Push It and the Fat Boys, Chubby Checker and the Fat Boys are doing the twist. But then now that you said it tonight, I remember going to, when I lived in the estate Meadowlands with my dad, I used to want to collect these, we call them crisps. What do you call chips? You call chips.
Yeah, potato chips. Yeah.
Potato chips called Alien Spacers. If you collect 10, you get a poster with Alien Spacers. So we're walking to the shop to get the packet of Alien Spacers. Summer's evening, people are breakdancing on lino. So that's probably, and then in the school that I went in, the primary school, there was b-boys, like there was people doing windmills and all that. So that's probably my earliest. But I think probably more that moment with the Salt and Pepper and the Fat Boys, that was when, and then Fat Boys had that movie, remember Disorderlies?
Absolutely.
Shortly after that, and then I was gradually building it. And my sister is a big part of it because I've only one sister and she's 13 years older than me, and she was always really good to me. And she knew I love music. So I always loved music, even before I got into, just always loved music. So, but she only really listened to black music. So she listened to disco. So she had like that kind of collection. And then her husband, who she's still with, they were dating when they were teenagers, he was into like rock music. So he had hundreds and thousands of vinyls, well, thousands of vinyls, I'd say.
Yeah.
So it was just, and then I was into like Bobby Brown for a bit, but whatever happened, it just drew me to hip hop, and then that was that.
That was that. That's dope, man. And question in regards to how accessible would you say overall was hip hop music over there? Like, was there any really, big radio stations that were
Oh,
pumping it, or like was it even able to be purchased in the majority of the record stores? Or did you have to go to
no.
certain spots, or like
Yeah.
as a someone from outside the country, right? Even distribution, some of this stuff wasn't overseas yet. So please tell me how you like procured the
Oh,
music
that's
back
a good
then.
question. Yeah, that's a good question. Like, so I guess 12 years of age living in Wexford,
Yeah.
um, your exposure, we had 6 channels, so there was no cable. You had 2 Irish channels, and then you could pick up the 4 UK channels. And on the UK channels, then they'd have those shows that I mentioned. So you start getting exposed to it. You start to read about them or hear on these shows that there might be different magazines. So I had a fella, I call him my uncle, but he's my dad's first cousin, Eddie. He's passed away since, but one of the best friends you could have, like best family members. But he sent me a copy of Hip Hop Connection magazine every month from London because he could just get it at the newsstand, and he sent it over here because he knew they didn't
Very
have it in
dope.
the shop. Uh, so I'd read that magazine and try and find out what was hot, who was bubbling, and then I'd go to the music shop called Wonder Discs. It was on Henrietta Street in Wexford, not Henrietta Street, the street by the stores in Wexford, and I think it was only trading for like 2 years, but they used to have a ton of imports. So they'd have like Ghetto Boys, they'd have all the Rap a Lot stuff,
Oh yeah.
and they would order you anything. I can't remember the guy's name for the life of me. He was such a big part of my early start. He was an English guy, and he got it. Like he knew I was just like obsessed. So my first tape I ever bought was on with my confirmation money was "Mama Said Knock You Out" because that was the video that was played on that Dance Energy show.
Okay.
And it was just like
And
for
that
that
beat too. I mean, come
all
on.
the way into it, like that way. So, and I met a guy. I went to the first year of what you would call high school. I met a guy, and he had been in my primary school, but we didn't know each other. But I was wearing a Public Enemy T-shirt that what you would say is the mall in Wexford. The mall is not like the fucking mall in America. Like it's just one corridor. You know what I mean?
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He saw me wearing a Public Enemy T-shirt, and he came up to me. He's like, "Oh, you wear Public Enemy? My dad's into rap." And he said his dad was into rap, so I went to his house after school, and I'm not joking. Lived in one of the estates in Ireland, and the living room was like not a big living room, but it had half of it was like boxed off with like floor to ceiling stacked with crates, and his dad had everything like MC Shan, like Slick Rick. I remember the first compilation tape that he made me out of his dad's collection. Because back then, remember, if you were putting someone onto hip hop, it felt like special. You were sharing each other's tapes or whatever. We double them. And he gave me a tape, and the first tape he ever gave me had. I'm going to try go from memory, right? Bear with me. He had children's stories, Slick Rick,
Mhm.
self destruction, various artists. It had an Ice T song called "This Girl Tried to Kill Me." I think it's off Power. Um, he had mad stuff. And then for EPMD, Knick Knack, Paddywhack, like all kinds of. And from there, I was just into it. That was it then. It was it. That was the beginning, like, that way. So back then we'd have our little raps or whatever. We dress a certain way. We started to like try and get up on starter and stuff like that. And but yeah, it's different experience. Like I'm like an alien, put it that way. Like I'm in an alien Catholic school, secondary school, everybody's into
Mhm.
Nirvana, the grunge, rave music, Stone Roses, Manchester scene. And here's me like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your Black Sheep album, like fuck off. You want to
Right.
you get me?
No, yeah.
So yeah, that was the origin, I guess, I suppose, if you want to outline it. But it was that period like that 2 to 3 years between maybe 88 and 91 where it was just like, yeah, I'm all
Yeah.
in. And then my
Yeah.
sister, big part, as I said, she went to Germany. She emigrated to Germany. So she used to videotape MTV Raps and send it back in like a month's worth of videos because we didn't have cable. So she'd send it back. And that was just like as soon as I started to see those tapes and everything, like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was special.
That's dope. Um, I got a question for you. When you were coming up and you were immersed and starting to immerse yourself in hip hop, and you mentioned like everybody else around you, was into grunge music or rock music, and you were definitely going against the grain and was an outsider. Did you catch any flack for being that guy that was not
Oh yeah, yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
dude?
yeah. Wexford is funny like that because Irish people have that kind of mentality anyway. That like, who the fuck do you think you are? You know what I mean? Like
I
one of those.
gotcha.
So I got plenty of that. Like I actually remember a funny story. As I was an adult, I must have been like 27 or something, and I'm in getting petrol. You used to call it gas. Like I'm getting petrol in the shop, and there's a couple in front of me, and I'm walking in, and for some, I had a polo button shirt on me, but it was stripy. So I was standing behind him in the queue, and your man goes like, "Oh, that's your man. That's Rob Kelly." Like, and she goes, "Who?" And he goes, "That's the fella, the rapper. Like, he was on the telly, the TV. He was on the telly." Like, she's like, "Who? MC Stripe?"
Oh shit.
So yeah, you get that coming up, like, but that's part of being from Wexford anyway, that way. So it wouldn't
Yeah.
matter what if you're into hip hop, you were into fucking grunge, you were into the cute, you were getting it the same way, that way. Everyone,
Everybody gets it. I
yeah,
got you. That's dope. I like that. I like that. The MC Stripe though.
yeah. Should have stuck with that, maybe.
She hit you with it. Yeah, well, I mean, hell. But nah, I like Rob Kelly. It's just authentic and it's you. So like take me to the next steps in regards to, all right, you were a fan, you had that, you found a plug at the record store that would order you all of the good shit. Um was there one artist that you gravitated to the most?
Oh, early days. See, it changes, like and it changed so rapidly back then. So it could have been Ice Cube,
Absolutely.
could have been Chuck D. Then it was Tretch. Tretch for a long while though. I think Tretch definitely had a big influence. Then the
Why was
movie
that?
Uptown. Just he was on that show Dance Energy, so they did OPP live
Hmm.
with no like backing track or whatever, and just his style was cool as fuck. And Yoke the Joker was the first song on the
Hmm.
album, and that so you wait to get the album. Like, bear in mind, I'm 2 months behind everybody because I have to mail order it from America. So by the time they get the order, ship it back, you pay the money in advance and all that. Like, it's a long process. Like, so then from getting the magazines, you'd be ordering the 12 inches just the same from the mail order companies. So the same type of thing, but there's no one influence. There's no one artist that influenced me the most. I think I can't put a timestamp on it, but I used to make I think about by the time I was like 17, but before that I was still recording. So I used to always mess about with like the hi-fi system. So the double tape decks, I'd plug in like headphones into the mic socket, rhyme into the headphones just to tape my own vocal over a beat, stuff like
Yeah.
that. And then that evolved. Then I got a mixer when I was 17. So I used to do pause tapes. So I get the drum Nas and Primo had it, but that's real right there. You probably did the same thing. So you catch the breaks to
I
like
did. Absolutely.
take it personal. Dun, 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 jink, stop it.
Yeah.
So I like ramp that up on a loop, play it through tape, use the mixer, and then I'd like scratch a bass line over it or something like that, and then record that onto an external and then rhyme over that. So I was always doing that in secret. But again, imagine in Ireland in 1997, wow, you're making a rap demo tape by your pal. Like,
Understood.
you know what I mean? So I was
Yeah.
just like, I passed it to certain people. I remember got out in school and stuff like, and yeah, some people loved it, and then other people were like, who is your man? Like, you know what I mean? So it wasn't until I suppose we can fast forward from that. I used to always make beats, all that rhyme, do all that. So I was rhyming. It was just I don't know why I was doing it or whatever. Or where I always had a dream, I suppose, that I was going to get on somewhere. Like, and fast forward, I think it's about 2004, and I'm kind of halfway checked out, like from rhyming. I'm older, like I'm 20, whatever, 22, 23. I'm out and about. We're all out partying every weekend, drinking, all that, like living life. Like, so I was semi checked out, not checked out of the music. I was still checking for the music all the time, like, so heavily into like the locks, you know what I mean? Whatever was out at that stage, like. And 2FM was the national broadcaster over here. On a Friday night, they had a show called The Big Smoke. But the guy, you could tell the guy that hosted, no disrespect to him, Wes, because he did a lot for me, Wes Darcy. He didn't really know hip hop. He just knew the joints that were breaking through. So the Neptunes records, whatever was bubbling in the nightclubs, like. But he used to bring people through to freestyle on a Friday night. So I was listening to it in the car with my friend, but I was like, hey, these guys, like, who the, you know what I mean? They weren't great. Like, I was like, I could do that, like, no problem. Like, so I emailed, and he was like, all right, give me your number. And he rang me. So he was like, you can rap, can you? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, rap now then. And I was like rapping on the phone, some rhyme from when I was 17. And he was like, come in next Friday. So I was like, all right, fucking drove up, got someone to drive me up to the radio station. Didn't have a record or anything. And he, when you say Rob Kelly sounds authentic, he was like, what's your rap name? It's like, Rob Kelly. He was like, you know, MC something. I was like, no, I'm MC nothing. Like, just fucking, because I used to be at the Def Squad and all that as well. Like, Redman and all that. That's why I can't even name names on influences. You know, that was just too many. But so freestyle on the Friday night over like Primo's Boom, I think. Can't really miss with that one, you know, that way if you have a few punchlines. So I was a little bit nervous and everything, but I got through it. And I felt like I was the man then, because people were like texting in the show and whatever. He's like, can you come back in 2 weeks? So I came back in 2 weeks. And then I just started getting linked with like this Irish hip hop community online, irishhiphop.com, which was like a toxic environment. Fucking hell.
It's always toxic, you know.
Was building at that stage. People were kind of like, we were gone past the Eminem explosion. There was a new wave of people that were into hip hop that were trying it out and everything. Like, and from there, I got linked with Mike Donnelly. He was a good friend of mine to this day, and he's from Bray in County Wicklow, and he was really, really, really talented producer. Like could have done. I always talk to him about this because he could have done anything if he'd wanted to. Like, but you just had to get him when you get him, you know, that way. But he kind of reached out to me after being on the radio, and then we just started making music together. And that's when it started to really snowball and spiral and turned into something, you know, that way. Because at first they were just demos, but I was like, these demos are all right. Like, we could, you know what I mean? We could do something with these. Like, so yeah, that's where it went from there. But yeah, kind of fast forwarded into radio. I didn't have records, just was going for it, like, because I felt like when I heard them on the radio, I was like, if someone's going to do this in Ireland and they're going to be on the radio, it should be me. Like, with my background, you know, that way, it should be me. Like, I dedicated my whole life to this. It should be me. Like, so that was part of it. Like,
that's dope. And then, you know, how did that transition, you know, to the breakout moment, you know, with Dropkick?
Oh,
you know, and then, like, you know, if there's anything that's, you know, relevant to the path that got you to that moment, right? Like, let's not gloss over that, you know,
yeah.
and take,
There's
you
a
know,
good bit before. There's a good bit before Dropkick. So I started rhyming, I think, 2002 as Rob Kelly in 2002, but I'd always been rhyming in secret, right?
Yeah.
So in 2002, did the first demo, and I sent that to DJ Vlad, believe it or not, right? Because I used to, like, I was heavy into mixtapes. So remember, like, tapekings.com?
Absolutely.
Anything that was on Tape Kings, I'd order it. Boom, boom, boom. I'm getting all these mixtapes through. And then at the back of the CD sleeve, I had the email address. So the fellas, I'm after going, like, I'm not internet savvy at this time, right? So I go to the studio. The fellas are sending me the MP3. He might as well have been sending me, like, a planet from outer space. I didn't know what to do with the MP3, you know what I mean? But I didn't know what the concept of it was. I thought you had to have, like, a CD to send out to people. But I'm on the back of these tapes and I'm figuring it out. So Vlad's email is obviously on one of them. So I sent it to him and he was like, oh, this is dope, whatever. Like, he's like, would you be able to get me some exposure out here? I was like, guess so. Like, plugged him in with a radio DJ out here. He got an interview. He put me on the website, and then as his unsigned hype, but then this TV company called me and they were going to do a TV show called 16 Bars, and it was out in America in the Hammerstein. They had like K-Slay lined up to be a judge. They had me. They had Napoleon from the Outlaws. They had Miss Toy from You Can Do It, Put Your Back Into It.
Yeah, Miss Toy. Yep.
They
Ice
had
Cube.
like a guy called Cleasy from the South. They have Frankie Crutches from the Hey Ma videos, one of my good friends to
Yep.
this day. Shout out to Car Talk with Crutch, by the way. He's doing his thing in the podcast space. And we have mad Frankie Crutch's stories that we could tell when he was over here and I was over in New York with him. But they were basically giving me a retainer, and this show was supposed to go on pay-per-view, and they had a marketing plan, and I think they had got funding to get it so far, but then it got shelved. But the thing was supposed to be like performance battle round, original song round, something like that. But I was the only non-American in it, like, so it was raising my profile over here. And then I was like, when these kind of things started to happen for me, after I did the Vlad thing, I got in touch with Pudgy P. Pudgy P did the first mixtape, which was the collection, but I didn't have a mixtape. I had reached out to Pudgy P like with a couple of songs. We somehow managed to get 50 Cent to do the intro. So I think the guy that was doing the radio stations, I used to ghostwrite his interviews because he didn't, like I said, he didn't really know much about hip hop. He was just in a position. So he got a chance to interview 50 on the first tour. So he goes backstage, and the nerve of this guy, like, he puts a mic in 50 Cent's face and he says, like, so I got this drop that's like, it's your boy 50 Cent, I'm hanging out with your boy Rob Kelly. So I was like, bang, stick that on the G Unit beat, did a freestyle over it, start sending it out, sent it to Pudgy P. Pudgy was like, oh, I'll do your tape. And he was doing me a favor, really. Like, I'm fucking nobody. Like, I don't even have any songs or whatever. And he's like mixtape artist, a mixtape DJ of the year, whatever, at the Justo Awards. Like, so he did me a solid. And I love this shit. I love Riot Squad, love Stack Bundles, rest in peace. Chinks, rest in peace. So yeah, he did me a solid, and he put me on, and I had a project. And I was like, coming out with my first release is DJ Pudgy P is hosting it. Like, so I went from there then just to trying to get the next move. The TV show came after that. We made certain moves. So I guess this is a good segue to go into Rhymefest. So Rhymefest ears must be burning off of, man, because every underground hip hop podcast I hear has a Rhymefest story. But I from making records, then I went into MC battling. Won a couple of battles because, you know, the 8 Mile movie was hot. So won a couple of battles. You weren't kind of getting like live exposure unless you were doing MC battles. So it took me a little while to adjust, but eventually won a couple of them. And Rhymefest was coming to town with Mark Ronson. Mark Ronson's touring off the back of OOE. So this has to be maybe 2005.
Okay. Yep.
And so the promoter, I know him. Shout out the promoter. I won't blow up his government nowadays because he's doing well, right? So I'm not going to bring him back into it. But the promoter that was putting it on, I think he had a choice of him or Kanye at the time, and he chose Mark Ronson, right? So brought Mark Ronson, and the tickets weren't really moving that well, right? Because he only has one song and it hadn't really penetrated out here like it had in other markets, like. So it was in the Temple Bar Music Centre in Dublin. So they started getting a buzz, like, well, Rob Kelly battle Rhymefest. And I was like, great, who's Rhymefest? Like, I hadn't a clue. I hadn't a notion because I listen to underground shit and I listen to jig shit, but like underground battle scenes and all, like, over here at that time, it just wasn't penetrating my like environment at all. Like, so I had to look up Rhymefest, and I was like, all right, cool, this is gonna be dope. Let's do this, like, you know what I mean? So we went, and then I went backstage to meet them all beforehand, and I thought it was going to be friendly fire. Like, I thought we were going to be cool, like, or whatever, right? So there was a guy called, his rap name used to be Bobby Two Shoes, but he's now called Abando Man, and he's a successful kind of like Harry Mack freestyle comedian on the Edinburgh scene. I don't want to do him a disservice by giving him that kind of label. I'm just trying to break it down for the listeners. And he's like real successful, but he was doing an interview backstage for this radio station, Anna Olivia FM. And he was like, if you had something to say to Rob, what would you say to him? And he put the mic to Rhymefest's face, and he was like, I would tell her. And I was like, what? I was like, and he wouldn't look at me, and he was like, he had his arms folded and that. I was like, all right, cool. So my friend Flip, DJ Flip was DJ, and he was the world ITF scratching champion in 2002. Best friends, like, you know want to skip over nobody. We started our label kind of off the back of the. So the boys were in it with me, Flip, Leach. We're running this label thing. We're trying to get, do independent music. And this was an opportunity for us. So Flip played DJ design instrumentals from Foreign Legion because he had done the same thing as me, and he had ended up becoming cool with Foreign Legion over there. So we actually learned a lot of our live show from going on tour with them over here. So shout out pros like Mark Stretch. But on the day, Flip was using DJ design instrumentals. So I was ready for Rhymefest. I had two rounds. It was only supposed to be two rounds each. I was ready, man. I wasn't
like ready. You had them ready.
Yeah, freestyle battle these nuts. I am ready for this guy. He's one script him. Fuck off. Like, this is what we'd heard at the time. I was like, I'm ready for him. So I did get him with some good ones. But then
I was sitting on a monitor on stage when that happened. Yeah.
Yeah. No doubt. Oh, okay. I get the scoop off that from you at a later date.
Yeah.
But so we went 2 rounds. I got him on the 2 rounds, right? Whatever. Nobody could say nothing. The only thing I wish was the footage. Someone was filming on one of the old Nokias, and they used to turn off after every 30 seconds. So they've only got clips of it on YouTube, and it's not in sequence, and it's all out of touch. But I got him on the first 2 rounds. But then the old wily fox, he had the crowd control, and he started going, yo, let's go another round. And I was like, I don't have another round. What are we doing here? That way. So he kind of got me in the 3rd round. But for years afterwards, people would reference it, and he would get annoyed about it. He'd be like, oh, fuck Rob Kelly. Blah, blah, blah. But a couple of years ago, him and Mark Ronson came back over here after Uptown Funk You, Mark Ronson, and everyone was messaging me like, oh, Mark Ronson's in town, and he's shouting you out on stage. So my boy ended up running into him, and he was like, I love you, man. Rob Kelly, it's all good. So we're following each other on Insta now. So the ill feeling has been healed between me and Rhymefest. Not that it was ever that serious, but at the time, Rhymefest was controversial enough. At the time, he was in London, and he said something about SAS. And I loved SAS, that were, SAS that were in from London, and they were over with Rockefeller, Dipset, and all that.
Yes.
So I ended up reaching out to them, sending them the battle, and then I sent them a freestyle. They put me on one of their tapes. So then me and Mayhem from SAS became like that. That's my brother to this day. So we're still in contact and everything. And he was like, oh, what's your situation? That's one thing about Mayhem as well. I got to give him his credit, because he always put me up on not even the business side, but how you can maneuver something if it goes in your favor. It's like, oh, you have this look over here. Well, why don't you go hit this guy and do this? Boom, boom, boom. So he was like, oh, well, if you have a label, we have distribution over here. So let me plug you in with the distributor. So my friend Leach went over, did the deal, and we ended up getting like a 70-30 off Pickwick Records for bragging rights. And I was like, I'm about to be going through the roof here, because I just got distribution. I have the TV show coming. So a lot of the publicity off the back of the TV show was fueling, I guess, the release of that mixtape. So that's 20 years ago this year. That's 2006. So, but on the production, Flip and his networking on MySpace, because I didn't even really know how to use MySpace. I had somebody else, young Rexy in Newcastle, was answering all the people and all that. But we did start to MySpace really got us a lot of momentum in the States, right? Yeah. So just skip the gatekeepers and went straight to consumer in the States. And there was a lot of Irish people hell yeah, I like this guy, or Irish Americans and just hip hop heads in general that gravitating to it. So yeah, I guess Flip and all that, his network and that just helped take it to a new level. And then it sold really well. We got some decent bread out of it. So that led up, I guess, to the Dropkick situation. Because the producers on it, Mr. Green was one of the producers on bragging rights that Flip had networked with on MySpace. He did 3 or 4. Nino from Soundsmith, he did the Blue Da Vinci and Fabulous record at the time. All these people just sending me records, by the way. I'm not sponsoring them or anything. They were just heard me and wanted to take a chance on me. So, and Nino ended up working with OVO and Drake. Show and Prove, a producer from Scotland, was on there, and he ended up working with Jesse J and fucking you name it, everybody who's who. Mr. Green, obviously, then was a staple of the underground, and then I had my boy Mike Donnelly on it. So that's why I always say he could have done more, because the ones that were in at the start kind of went from there. But
Yeah.
that developed a relationship between me and Mr. Green. Mr. Green always had like a sick work ethic, like, and if you gave him an idea, he'd go and do something with it. So the guy Mike Donnelly that I'm talking about, the producer, half the time we wasted time in the studio because we'd be like looking at movies or something, doing stupid shit when we should have been recording, that way, or just having a laugh, like. And he used to burn movies for me on DVD, bootleg movies, like back in the day. So if I was playing in Dublin or something, his house was in Bray. He'd go, like, I'm going to leave out the fucking DVDs for you on the door, on the driveway or whatever, right? So he gave me The Departed. So I remember coming home, it was like 2
Love
o'clock.
that movie.
Yeah, it was like, it changed my life in a lot of ways, like, because I was like, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I put in the DVD player, like, with just something to watch, something when you're falling asleep, and then I heard, dun, 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 dun. I said, what the fuck is this? This is a mob movie, and this sample. So I sent it to a couple of people, and they were like, no, I can't fucking, like, there's nothing you can do with this. You're dreaming. Like, this is not going to be a song. Like, when I said to Mr. Green, he sent me back the next day. Boom, dun, 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 dun. So I was like, oh, we're out of here. And I couldn't write to it for like 6 weeks. I was like, I can't, this has to be, like, this, when you hear this has to be it. Like, so I sat on it for a minute, and then he was like, you know what, we should get Slane on this. Like, and I was like, you think Slane will get on this? And he was like, oh, he knows who you are. Like, so I was like, oh shit, dope. Like, so I kind of knew it was onto something. There's lightning in a bottle sometimes. So there's a lot of like fluff and filter and forming it in and doing features for people that you're not really all the way feeling, or there's no passion in it. But sometimes there's lightning in a bottle. And I knew the day I went to the studio to lay that, I was like,
There's synergy in it.
yeah, something's going to happen here. Like, and then
Yeah.
Slane sent back his verse, and he went dumb on the verse, and he wrote the hook as well. I was like, oh my God. And I had to go back and record the third verse to keep the synergy in the song. But it's mad because it kind of looked like how the video played out in my head in the end when I was recording it. Does that make sense? Or maybe I'm just remembering it that way after all these years, but I felt like I was seeing it in black and white in Southie, and I'd never been to Boston, but the song did so well on MySpace that we ended up then touring in Boston. So me and Slane did a headline show in the legendary Middle East. And like, people flew in from Oklahoma and that, like, and it took them longer to get to Boston than it did for me, that way. Like, so I was like, I knew I was onto something. So I was like, and then I don't know if you ever came across Drew Garrity from Commonwealth Records, no?
It's not ringing a bell at the moment, but
so he was
I've
Slane's
had
manager.
30 plus surgeries in my memories.
Yeah, no doubt. He was Slane's manager in the early days, and he had his own label called Commonwealth, and then he was also working for Amalgam Digital, but he came to that show and he was like, oh, I think I can manage you. Like, I think we could do something here. The record's hot. Like, he's like, you're selling merch at the show. It's got whatever 100,000 views on MySpace. I think we have something. Like, would you think about going to Amalgam? I was like, that's a digital label. Like, oh, no. That's stupid. I was like, no. So he was like, well, let's just manage it. We'll put it out ourselves and see where it goes. So we did the video with John Lambert, who did the Jack the Ripper video as well. It's one of the earlier videos. I have another video called All Right, which would have been my first video, but there was other Irish rap videos, so I don't want to do the scene of this service. There's definitely videos before me, but that one felt like we had everything. So we had the song and the video, and then it was going like bam, bam, bam. YouTube. I was waking up, it was like 400,000 views, 500,000 views, and then I was like, oh fucking hell, we're going to get to 1 million here. Like, maybe not 4 or 5. Yeah, it was going 5. I could be exaggerating there, right? And then bing, cease and desist from the Murphys. I was like, oh, I thought it was cool. I didn't know that we can't sample it. So we had no plan B, and that kind of derailed me then for a little bit, because I was taking it personally. I was like talking shit about the Dropkick Murphys, like, how come they can't clear this sample? I'm Irish. What's going on here? Like, there's some misunderstanding. How the fuck is this not happening? Like,
right.
Everyone wants to hear the record. I'm getting a Double XL magazine off the back of it and stuff like that. Like, it was like, as I was supposed to be gold time. This was supposed to be my breakout.
Like this was it. This was your opportunity. Like, yes.
And I was like, I don't have another one of these right now. I need to make this one work. So yeah, that's just the way it went at that time. But listen,
were you able to reconcile with them at all, or did it still?
Actually, I can't believe you asked that question. Yeah, so my mother passed away maybe 14 years ago, I think,
Rest in
And
peace.
I have been doing so much shit talking about the Dropkick Murphys that if they eventually someone confronted me on MySpace, I was like, here's my number, like who are you or whatever. So he ended up passing the number to Ken Casey from the Dropkick Murphy. So I get a phone call from America, and I'm thinking it's because of the day of my mom's funeral. I pick it up like if someone commiserating with me, and he's like, "This is Ken Casey from the Dropkick Murphy." I was like, "Dude, I can't talk to you today, but give me a shout in a week. We work it out." So he was very amicable. He was like, "It wasn't us; it was the publishing company." Blah blah blah. But when we took it as a sign of disrespect that you sampled, you didn't reach out, and I was like, "No." And I was in Boston. I was obviously talking to people that were acting on behalf of them, but they were nothing to do with the Murphys. You know that way. So they were giving me a green light, and
They
then
were acting like they were
I
given.
just saw like my mind is blown that I'm even in America rhyming. You know that way. So I'm meeting it up, and
And you're
obviously,
naive, and
yeah, I wasn't putting it together. So that's what happened with that. And look, it never came out officially. It's a big regret of mine because it would have been with all the views it even has now. It would have been. Like it would have been out of here, and it did a lot for me still. So I don't owe it anything, you know. That way, it was just a moment, and like I said, you get lightning in a bottle. Sometimes that was lightning in a bottle. What I love the most about it is it plugged me into the boxing world because I grew up obviously following in my dad's footsteps as a big boxing fan, and he kind of like the depth of my hip hop love is the same as the depth of my boxing love. And my man Andy Lee, who ended up becoming WBC or WBO rather world middleweight champion, used to let me do the ring walk to that, and he came and was in the video
wow.
for Dropkick. So yeah,
Can I
they really
ask you a
touched me
question?
for
Who was your father's favorite boxer?
Jack Dempsey or Gene Tunney.
Right on. And who is your favorite boxer?
My favorite boxer all time, Roy Jones Jr., Bernard Hopkins, James Toney, and then if you go like Legacy, Ray Leonard, Hearns, Sugar Ray Robinson, so all the old romantics. But yeah, we and my dad different styles of fight. He like different styles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Salute. Definitely dope. I mean, boxing's shit. Sorry.
Crawford, obviously in the modern era.
Sorry
Crawford.
to derail. Please finish and continue. I'm sorry. My apologies. I just, when you talk about boxing and
No,
everything
me
like
too.
that, I
Crawford. I
always.
would say Crawford in the modern era. Crawford was a gift to the modern era.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I love it. I love it. But go ahead, please. By
I don't
all
even know
means.
where we were, bro.
Oh, okay, my bad. I'm sorry. I derailed you. We do have some questions from the folks.
Oh shit.
At Gorilla, says, do you have any dream collaborations with any MCs or producers, out there?
Dream collaborations with MCs or producers. I think if you're looking at it now, you gotta go Primo. Like I never got the Primo beat. If I'd got the Primo beat, I maybe would have retired happy. But I got like unless you're talking like Big or Hove or Nas or anything like anyone I worked with Sean Price, so that was good enough for me. You know that way.
Yeah, that was an amazing. I was playing that earlier, and I've been the thing that I do want to make sure that where I have respect for you in regards to, because I've been listening to you nonstop for, since we've had this interview. You've been like in the rotation because I was like, I've got to make sure that I'm proficient and I learn everything. And the one thing that I always catch in all of your bars and everything that you've done is that you incorporate a lot of classic hip hop, like one-liners and punchlines, and make them your own. And you show such a reverence and basically, you give honor to the forefathers, and you can tell that your hip hop history and the way that you're incorporating them into your rhymes and flipping them to work with what you have, your bars and shit, and you know salute to you on that. And my question to you is like, do you have an intentional, or does it just come to you, or do you have like an intentional, like, I'm gonna like flip this part, or like does that?
Good question. Yeah, no, honestly, it all just comes to you. Like it's like downloading something off the cloud. Do you know that way? It's like it
Mhm.
hits you. You might be trying. I think the ones where you're trying to write a rhyme don't sound good. The ones where you're not trying to write a rhyme and it just hits you, and then you just flesh it out in your head, you pattern it out.
Yeah.
They're the best ones. Like so, a lot of the time you're talking about me referencing classic hip hop shit. So it might be like I'm feeling a certain way. This give me the vibe of I don't know, KRS One, so I'm gonna flip a BDP line in here, or I don't even know who. I know what you're talking about, but I can't give you a specific example right now off the
Yeah.
top. But like even the Jack the Ripper 2, the Jack Spade you were playing out earlier on.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's just
And I mean, you even fucking mentioned Moni in the middle, and like
yeah.
and something like that's something I've used in like my corporate life, and I even use it like I'll use that and drop that song with my kids and stuff like that, and people like in my normal life to see if they know anything about hip hop, and it's hilarious because, I was like, oh shit, it's just respect to and it's the thing that I love about really going deep into your catalog and going into it was like, man, this guy fucking knows and really does have such a respect for the golden era and the icons of hip hop, right? And you said, in one of the lines, it was like uh you had mentioned, your favorite rapper has Notorious, only has Notorious in their title in one of your
No,
I think that
I said my favorite rappers all dead and have big in the name. So there's three. I'm leaving it open for three, even though I had other favorite rappers too. But it's just
big,
a
yes,
like,
that's what it was. It's yeah, because like I'm assuming like Notorious Big Pun and who else?
Big L.
The Big L, exactly. All right, good. I just yeah, man, like dope. So those would that still stand as like your top three DOA at this point?
It changes all the time. I think a solid
Yeah.
top five for me. I come at this age, we're
I
similar.
can't do it either. I can't answer that
We
shit
have
either.
we have like the Mount Rushmore, and actually you can't even get a Mount Rushmore of the
Yeah.
previous era. So say the previous era is Rakim, Kane,
Uh-huh.
KRS, LL, and I can't split them.
Yeah.
Rakim can't split them, and then Nas, Hove, Big, Redman, Sean P, Jadakiss. I can't do like I just can't do a top 3 or 5
No,
big.
that's great. And that's and see, and I always think that's an unfair question. And
Mm.
my bad. The only reason why, because you had mentioned that up, and I was like,
No,
if
it's
that's
it's a
something
dope
that,
line, but
yeah,
it's not like
yeah,
it's not written in stone. It changes, but that's
absolutely.
over the course like of your Spotify listenership over the years. I think it's a solid basis with that listening. But yeah, we've different goals, and in the newer era, I couldn't give a flying fuck about the other debates about Cole, Kendrick, and Drake. I don't care about those ones. Like that way. I listen to all the music, but it doesn't hit me in the same way as the previous one. So they'd be my top ones. Like.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, because again, I think it is what you grew up on, and as your age, and how dope has it been over since I would say probably the 50th anniversary of hip hop that all of the greats are starting to really get active again and release not only just some projects where it's like, all right, they're phoning it in, or you can tell that their skills have diminished,
Mm,
but like we are getting some work from some greats, and it's like this is some of their best fucking work ever, right? Have you is there any like of the newer projects like with the Mob Deep, or
oh yeah, I love the
or
Monty.
the
I like all the
Miguel
Mass
album?
Appeal. Yeah, I liked all the Mass Appeal stuff really.
Mhm.
Shout out my man Green Lantern. So I met Green Lantern around the same time as I met Bleak.
Salute to
Um,
Green Lantern
so
icon.
Green Lantern's big on Twitch, isn't he? I'm gonna start getting on Twitch now that you told me about it. But
Yeah.
he's yeah, we were always still cool. And every time he comes to Ireland to do a show, he puts me on the list or whatever. So he DJs for Snoop and for Nas, but Nas was here like 3 times in the last 18 months. And the 30th Illmatic anniversary show, I was there with my boy DJ Flip, G Leach, who started the label with me. OC, DJ OC, legendary pirate, Irish DJ, who won't mind me saying on this platform, Sinead O'Connor's brother. My original show DJ, super hip hop head, he came in the RCA loud jacket, and we had the best time. The show was so on point for the 30th anniversary. It was like, sometimes you go to shows years ago and they have the magic. It was like the magic was back. So I think that's where his head is at the moment. Like with Nas, it's like hip hop first, and then all the business moves are second, and you're seeing that in the caliber of the releases. Some of the records are hit and miss. I guess we're hard to please over the years. It's hard to have perfection, and it's hard to recapture the moments that we grew up on. But I like the Primo and Nas record. I thought it was dope.
God, it's dope.
I love the De La Soul record with Nas rhyming on it. I thought that was sick.
Yes.
And the Mobb Deep, of course, Prodigy. You can listen to Prodigy's voice on anything and Havoc's voice on everything. And I thought Alchemist did him a really good service, exec producing and all that, and helping out. I thought you could hit the main single. That Mobb Deep Against the World joint was like out of here. So it's good that we can still have all these moments. And I think it's good, like what you said, like a lot of the artists are realizing now you can be Bruce Springsteen. Like, you don't have to be done at 25. You know what I mean? There's a life after the prime. Like, that keep you touring, keep you releasing new music. People still listen to it. And it's being well received. So yeah, I think that trickles down, I think, to the newer ones that are in the underground as well. Like, they start to see that there's really an appetite for it. Like the likes of the Rome Streets, is all these guys that are just keeping it thorough 100%. So yeah, it's nothing but positive. Like,
How was your over the years with, you being in the game as long as you have? And not only, it's been a part of your life the entire time, and you've seen it grow up, and you've grown up with it and been a part of it, and from across the world. How has your approach to hip hop changed from when you were, in it, right, at the beginning, and you were, just immersed in it, to, where you're at now as, wisdom and mature and wiser now?
I think you can't really recapture the early days, like the excitement of hearing those records in real time for the first time. Like, I remember Westwood was a big part of our education as well, and upbringing over here, because Tim Westwood had the BBC Radio 1 show on radio, 1 to 4 on a Friday night, 9 to 12 on a Saturday. You used to be able to pick it up over here. So you get your Maxells ready and your pause button. And I remember hearing Big L's put it on for the first time. I was like, what the fuck is, like, what is this? The beat, he's flowing, the flow, the punchlines. I was like, who the fuck is this? And I'd heard Nas and Wu-Tang and all that before, but that was a special moment. And I don't think that just happens these days. It just doesn't happen, that way. It's like, you can't replicate it. Like, you had to be there. So it's just one of those moments you had to live through. And if you're lucky to experience it later on in life for the first time, you probably had the same feelings the first time you ever heard it. Even if you first heard it in 2016, you still feel the same way. So yeah, that was one of those moments I remember vividly. Like, I can't wait for this tape to flip so I can play that song again. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, man. And back in the day with the tapes, you just would just let them play, or CDs. It's like, especially if you didn't feel like changing them, you just let them play over and over.
Or miss your batteries either if you had a Walkman that wasn't a move. Like,
hell yeah. I just want to double check with you on your time. How are we?
No, I'm good, dude. Go ahead.
Okay. I just am always want to be respectful. We're at the hour point. And normally at the hour point, we take a pause and we have an opportunity to play a song. And this is always where I want the artist to be able to pick the video and the song that you'd like to have played, just like we started off with.
Let me go. I'll tell you what, right? Let me go to, on this one, I'm going to go to the final solo album, which is Kel Hefe, which I will be coming back with something else, but let's go.
Dope ass album.
Yeah, I think that's like probably my best album, the least commercially received album I say I've ever done, but I think that's my best one, and that
Oh,
because I
Black Irish is crazy. I mean, all of them are. Yeah, I mean, come on now. Let's
yeah.
not. Yeah.
Maybe
Which
so, but
song?
I feel like that one was maybe had the edge because I was rhyming like I didn't give a shit, and then I had the like Sean Price co-sign. So me and Sean Price were actually that's a good reason to play this song. So no, fuck it. Let's change this. Let's change the tone altogether. Let's play the Peaky Blinders remix of me and Sean Price, Refrigerator P. And
All
I'll
right.
get oh
So the only thing I will say about this is,
yeah, video.
so for you folks that are on YouTube right now, right? If the stream goes down,
All right, no, I don't want to. I don't want to.
no, stop. We're good. We're good. Everything's fine. We are good. If the stream pops away during that, we will come right back as soon as the video is over. For you folks that are watching it on the replay, it will not be there. But you guys that are on Twitch, everything's fine and
I feel like
dandy.
show up now.
But
Sorry,
no, we are not. No, well, see, this is something that we run into all the time, and it is, it's fine. And I just always preface that because we're live, and yeah, it's dope. Like, and I want to have an opportunity for you to set the stage and tell us about that and why, please. So I'm getting that queued up, and don't worry about anything, please. I want to hear this story because this is a dope ass song and a dope ass project, please.
So 2006, I meet Memphis Bleak in Dublin. Me and Memphis Bleak end up becoming real good friends to this day. I'd say he's in my like top 5 circle of friends. I was just talking to him the other day on the phone.
Much
I was at
respect
his
and love.
wedding. He was at his wedding. My wife and his wife know each other. Kids know each other. All that. So, but Sean Price was his cousin. So when Bleak would come to Ireland, I'd be playing underground shit. He'd be playing Little Baby, whatever it is. We'd meet in the middle, right? So one day I was playing the Random Acts album in Dublin. And he's like, "What's this?" I was like, "The Sean Price group, Random Acts." And he was like, "Sean Price, my cousin." I said, "Shut up." Sean Price, my favorite rapper. Like, so he knew Sean Price was my favorite rapper. And I never wanted to approach Sean Price because you know the way he was on Twitter. Hey, check out my music. He'd be like, "Hey, fam, you blocked. Boom, get out of here." You know that way. Like, I didn't want to do the grease his pockets for a feature verse either. I had this thing in my head that if I ever did a song with him, that he was going to meet me, he was going to hear me somehow, and he wanted to do a song. Don't fucking ask me why I thought that was a good plan and not just go the other way. But I probably could have took the easy route and got someone to get me to him to give him some money to do a feature because he did features for everyone, which is part of the game. You know what I mean? But I didn't want that. So Bleak out of nowhere one day calls me and he was like, "I'm doing a mixtape called The Movement. I have this joint with Sean Price. I'm going to put you on it." I was like, "Oh, fuck. What?"
Wow.
He was like, yeah. He's like, "I'm going to put you on it." And in the meantime, SAS, who I referenced earlier, they had been telling him about me. He was cool with them in London. So he kind of knew who I was or whatever. And then, because he had tweeted when the Jack the Ripper video came out, he just put out a tweet one day, Rob Kelly, Jack the Ripper, no link to the video, nothing, just my name and Jack the Ripper. And then he started following me on Twitter. But I even at that, I was like, I don't want to fuck this up. Like, I'm not just like, "Hey man, don't do something."
Yeah.
So Blake was like, "I have this record." So I sent him a voice. He was like, "That's not it." I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You sound nervous and all." He's like, "Just fucking do whatever you do. Like, just do whatever you do." So I came back, nailed it. I thought the song was called RNS. And then when it came out, when Bleak's mixtape dropped, I got that joint off it and I sent it to Dope Boys and Right? Because I knew they always posted the Sean Price songs, right? So then they posted it, and then Sean Price tweets, "I don't know who the fuck Rob Kelly is, but he killed that shit." Right. So then I reached him. I was like, "No, it's me from the fucking Jack the Ripper." Whatever. He's like, "Oh shit, blah blah blah." So the next day I'm sitting at home. He's like, "Call my phone." So I called him and he was like, da, da, da. I was like, "Listen, I always have this thing in my head, like I don't look up to anyone and I don't look down on no one either. Like, but 2 times I was probably starstruck in my life when I was doing the ring walk for Andy Lee and Manuel Stewart was his trainer. Like, I was kind of starstruck, and me and Manny became tight after that.
Crazy, yo.
Yeah, because I said the first thing I said to him was, "You look shorter in real life." He's like, "Hey man, fuck you." And he ended up like fucking bringing me to dinner, talk boxing, for hours on end, and every time I seen him, we were cool. So rest in peace, Manny, man. He made a lot of time for me when he didn't have to. And then when I was on the phone to Sean Price, I was kind of starstruck, and I was just like, I didn't really know what to say, and I was just like, man, you're one of my favorite rappers. He was like, oh, you're one of my favorite rappers too. Like, so he's like, let's do these joints together, boom, boom, boom. So, you know, things go cold. I hadn't heard from him in a while. And he sent me, woke up one day and I had an ad on Twitter. And he was like, capital letters, check your DM, boom, 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 exclamation point. I was like, what's this? Like, what have I done here? Like,
yeah, like, uh-oh.
Yeah. And I'm like, I have this record called Refrigerator P. I want you to get on it. And he's like, if you don't want to be on it, we're still good money. I was like, if I don't want to be on it, what?
What? You're asking me to be on a song with you? Come on now.
Like, send it. So I had said to him then back, like, I'm doing this Kel Hefe album. I have this joint. And I sent him Black Mass. And he sent me back a message saying, I need to be on Black Mass and another joint called Smash that never came out. And then he passed. So we got I had given him back the verse, and I'm telling you that 24 hours when I sent it back to him, I was like questioning my whole existence. I was like, he's not going to like this. And if he don't like this, what am I going to do? Like, because I've only, you know what I mean? This is my favorite.
You did have nerves. You did feel
course.
The nerves.
I knew I had done my thing on it, but I was like, when it's someone of that caliber, like, and I had held him in such high regard, I was thinking, if he don't like this, like, what the fuck am I going to do from here on in? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so he sent me back a message. He was like, fireworks, boom, boom, boom. And then he was wanting to put it on the album. And obviously he passed then before it got released. Yeah, so I didn't make the album version. But there was some showdown between the producer who had the original beat. I don't want to get into like any industry politics, not my business, but there was some kind of showdown. But ultimately, in the end of the day, the producer didn't really even have to do the remix. But the joint that you hear is not the original joint. The joint that you hear is the joint that's on the A side of that, which was me, him, and Rim from The Villains, you know, Rim the Villain, and from New York. It was the three of us, and Rim did the hook. But just in terms of the shit he's saying, imagine me trying to write the verse. The shit he's saying on the first verse, he's even like soul crack the bitches in the third trimester. He says, slugs move everything around me. Smeem. The fuck that mean?
Right.
Your kids stole a rook so mean. I'm like listening to this going, how the fuck am I going to write this? Like, so anyway, it turned out dope. I wish people could have heard the original in its original format because it was even a level above that one. But this one, I'm glad it's in the mix, and it got released on wax as well, which was a big moment for me because that was something, you know, grew up listening to Duck Down, Mail Order, and Duck Down, dreaming, writing Duck Down on my book in school, trying to get signed to Duck Down. So I never got signed to Duck Down, but I had a release on Duck Down Records, so that was a nice moment.
That's dope. Yeah, the beat. Yeah, and salute to Duck Down, everything. Like that they were huge in Cincinnati as far as they had a humongous movement and following. Yeah. So we're getting ready to get into this remix right here, Refrigerator P. And
all right, dope. I'm gonna run to the bathroom, y'all. I'm gonna see you on the other side. But thanks a million.
Yes, sir. We got it. Let's do it like this, y'all.
Yeah. Listen. It go nice rapping, Mike Tyson fans. No tight fashion, Mike Jackson pants, dancing machine, adamantium vampire regime. The shit you holding this shit, colon cancer the cream. Slugs move everything around me. Scream. What the fuck that mean? Go with your kids, throw the nigga rock that mean. Mean Gene Oakland smoking the worthy Kareem. So sacrilegious with the bird rhyme justice. So crack the bitches in their third trimester. You know how it go. You know my flow dope. A la Hector Lavoe. Never catch P on the girl song. I smack shit out you. We are the world song. Get a hater scary. My defense intense. Refrigerator Perry. Shot somebody, fam, clapped at 9. Lock my body, can't trap my mind. Raps divine, father divine line. Conversate with the congregation that's related with mine. You're new to the 1-2. Can't escape your fate, great. Who can I run to? True, birds and nerds don't hurt me. Half man, half machine, the team's Murphy.
They call me Big Daddy Kel Hef. Turn up when you don't expect it. Slum apprentice, wave it at your left leg. Temptress, butterfly knife in a red dress. Double barrel sticking out the bag like French bread. Yo, robbers live where you think you're liver. I'll stick the fucking screwdriver in your arm when you're drinking cider. I'll get you sleep for a cheeky favor. Creep behind your razor in your hat like Peaky Blinders. Cuss them out like Mike Dictor. This life Mick got whores around them like the makeup counter. Hear the lies in your bars, you don't break up powder. You're some flexi time slime ball cowards, we don't make up hours, yeah. Fuck a blogger hating. Songs with Sean Price, they turned to Walter Payton. The way they're running back is scary. I told them to bear with me, refrigerator Perry.
Hey, yo, man, that was a dope ass track. Once again, that was Sean Price featuring Rob Kelly. That was Refrigerator Pete, and it was the Peaky Blinders remix, y'all. And I'm gonna drop a direct link for that in the chat. And if you are new here, just so you know, we do this every single Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Mountain, 6 p.m. Pacific, and on days when we have international guests or artists that can't do it at the normal time, we do it earlier. And, we're fortunate enough to be joined live all the way from Ireland. And thank God for the beauty of internet that we have the ability to be gathered here and being able to do this. And if you are new here also, please follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and all of that stuff, because we have a lot of catalog, a very vast catalog. We have almost 200 episodes, almost coming up on 3 years of episodes. And salute to my co-hosts, G-Fresh, Big Wheeze, and of course Bluebeard, Mad Ways. But we do this, and we've been doing this, so you can check out our podcast links. So at our YouTube page at B-Boys Underground, just click on the podcast link, and it has all of our episodes prior listed out for you to be able to listen to it on YouTube, audio, music, and also long form videos, and coming soon to every single podcasting network soon. And without further ado, we are back with the one and only Rob Kelly, man. Dope track, man. And yeah, you had you had a lot to follow up on that track, and you did it. You did the damn thing. So salute to you on that one, fam.
Thanks, bro. No, it was a dope moment. It was good to be able to. I wish we could have got the other ones in the can. So we had two, but the other two would have been special too. But yeah, consider myself very lucky for that to have happened. It was a dope experience.
Absolutely. I mean and it happened like
I can't even describe as well. Like, he was my favorite rap. Like, Hove was my favorite rapper for a long time. Big was my favorite rapper for a long time. But as you grow and stuff, from 2004, say, to 2000, whenever I met him, he was like, I knew every freestyle that ever dropped on Now Right. I had all the mixtapes, like all his interviews. I had seen him. He was someone that I really fucking looked up to because he was doing it his way. You know that way?
Yeah, and he was so authentic, and he was hilarious. He was
Hilarious.
hilarious.
His bars are so he had this uncanny talent that his bars sound simple when you hear them, but if you go to try and say them, then they get complex.
Yeah.
Only certain people have that talent. He is you might think he's saying the simplest shit in the world, then go try and repeat it. Do you ever see that rap clinic that he did or whatever with the rap nerds? It was like a comedy skit on the Dub Down channel. Get people to the bars back to him. Nobody can do it. Like he had that. The bars sound simple, but if you go to try to say him, it's like, holy, what the fuck? Yeah, so like I loved his like resurgence as well, even after like Jesus Price when he like did the Kimbo mixtape and he kept
Yeah.
people waiting and he was like, I'm not fucking doing music for a while. And then he hit back and he was just like bum bum. So at that time I met him, he was in that pocket where he was like, he's just doing Lucy's and putting them on SoundCloud and stuff. Like he was just recording with everyone. So yeah, I was lucky. I was lucky to have, and he was cool as fuck. I shout out Bernadette as well, by the way. She was always cool as fuck with me as well. So, shout out my man Rim from Brownsville. That kind of me and him had done a song. He's on Black Irish Show, and we did it joint that's together. She'll be on streaming, but I don't know, whatever provider I used, the thing expired and I never like re-uploaded it. Just being honest, no like fucking magic tricks behind the scene. I gotta get that back on streaming because that was called Lethal Hours because we were doing it like off the back of the Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte, the 48 hours, like so that was the theme of it. Had a bit of samples, gave a shout out to Hex Murder, shout out Hex on one of the joints named after him. Hex was another one like that embraced me that didn't have to like, you know what I mean? Another notorious critic on whack shit, like you know what I mean? You don't stand a chance like, with Hex if you're not up to par. So he was one that gave me props. House Shoes, all them, like so. Shout out everybody in the States that ever kind of embraced the shit I was doing. But yeah, the vindication for it all, I guess, for the pinnacle of it all. And to be honest with you, after Sean Price passed, I lost a lot of motivation because I was like, this was what I was working. I was working up to. Like, me and him were about to do 4 records, like, and then like it's, you know what I mean. It was like kind of the dropkick thing. Obviously, like the bigger loss is Sean P to the game. Like everybody lost when Sean Price passed. You know that way, but like,
Yeah.
I kind of couldn't. It took a bit out of me in terms of like recording and that, like, because I was like trying to keep pace with him as well in terms of when I was making music. I used to try to apply the same work ethic. Like, somebody has a freestyle out every 2 weeks, I need to go and get something out every 2 weeks. If somebody's rolling out albums, somebody's working, somebody's doing features, I need to do all this. And then it was like, yeah, it was a sad time, man. That one hit me. I didn't know him that well. Like, don't get me wrong. We weren't like
that knocked the wind out of the entire community. I mean, I remember being like in a funk over that for a minute. It's like, damn, man. Like, so yeah, I understand what you're saying.
He bring his daughter on stage to rhyme and all that. Like, it felt like people were just like catching on to what we all knew in the underground.
Yes.
Yeah, it felt like he was on the like. Not saying he wasn't going to be like doing OVO shows, but you know what I mean. He was going to be bigger than he'd ever been before. I feel like anyway, his talent was never wavered. Like, it was going that way always. Like,
yeah, and I think the fact that again that he was as authentic of a person as he was, and I think that is what separates the wheat from the chaff, right? And your real artists from your copy and paste artists is that. When people are themselves and, one of my favorite songs, Nobody Can Be You But You. It's basically Steve Arrington's Slave song, old funk song. But, it's that. And if you are vulnerable enough to be yourself and put yourself out there to be judged and do it from a place of love and respect, it shows.
yeah, like, yeah. I think the thing with him was you're getting on the record who you're getting.
Yeah,
he's funny. Like, he was funny as fuck like that on the phone too. Like, quick witted, just funny. And he used to say like, I am nice. I am like, that wasn't like, when he used to say Sean Price is the best and all that. Like, he really like he called like, I am. Where do you hear this shit from? I am not. Woo, about his own shit. That was,
respect.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to believe that. I think all of the best, MCs and anybody that think, you got to believe in yourself and you got to be like, shit, I'm the best,
Yeah.
I
used to say that in Ireland and wind people up. But the other Irish rappers used to go crazy. I used to be like I'd be part trolling as well. That way before trolling was the thing. I used to get every interview to get for. I am the best ever for this country. Nobody talk to me. I am the best. People go, fuck that fucking
guy. We kind of didn't get a chance to speak about that in regards to like, what is it like being you in Ireland, do you feel like you get the respect that you deserve even at this
Oh,
point?
that like I
And
not
not from a, and let me say that because I can understand how this could be perceived as like a vanity, or like, I'm not trying to set you up for that. What I'm
no,
trying,
I get where you're going. No, probably no.
yeah.
On the whole, no. But I do think there's like people that don't really know what you and me know. You know that way?
Hmm.
So it's not like they don't, it's not like I'm blackballed or anything like that, or I'm like left out or whatever. I just don't think people know the way we know, you know that way? Like
Understood. So
the
you think you
stuff
have
that
more
like
respects for, and do you think you have more respect in the States than you do in your home country?
probably, and then in the UK, like put it this way, I always look at like the stuff that I would say call whatever people would say like achievements or whatever, stuff that you achieved. Like when I look back at it, um, Fire in the Boot, Record of the Week, Kiss FM, Record of the Week, One Extra, top 25 on the halftime show, yearly wrap up, like songs on Premiere in Double XL, on K Slay show, on fucking Primo show, whoever I opened up for songs with whoever, like Sean P, Bleak, Slane, Apathy, fucking Bronson before he was on, like people that reached out to me for free. Like all my shit was in like in the pillars, in Double XL, the Source, fucking
Hmm.
Hip Hop Connection, all that shit. Like when I look back on it, it was all within the pillars of hip hop. But for me, that's what I was kind of shooting for, you know, that way. So it didn't. So if people don't get it, like I don't expect them to get it. You know that way. Like I said to you before we even kicked off, like I don't tell a lot of these stories a lot of the time because people don't like. What am I going to say to someone? Oh, do you know in 2004 I opened up for Kanye West in the Three Arena. There was 9,000 people there. Who people be like, get this fucking guy away from me? He's telling lies. You know that way. But it happened. But it
I
was like,
got you.
you
Yeah,
get me? So like I don't like respect and all that. Like came from whoever I was making music with, and that was enough for me. You know that way. Like I never, and I wasn't trying to change the course of music history or anything. I was just trying to have me say.
understood and respect for that. And you also mentioned that you are a father, and my thing is that I'm a father as well. I have twins, right? And my
Mhm.
twins are, they'll be 14 this year, and I have one boy, one girl, and it's definitely where they're at this age, and I'm turning 50 this year, and it's kind of like, okay, that's a big number, right? And that's kind of a number, and but uh, they like what I do, they respect what I do, but they also like, it's like, I don't know if they get totally what I do. Do you
No,
like
my little one don't like my music. My little one, one of her friends listens to
yeah,
Jack the Ripper all the time. He knows like the words to it and that. Like she just like plays it down. We're beefing tonight because she don't always like what I have to hear, what I have to say to her when she's 15. You know that way. But
yeah.
no, I'm lucky. Like best
Does
kid
she
in the
like
world.
hip hop?
Yeah, she does like hip hop actually. Shout out Megan Thee Stallion. We brought her to this is terrible parenting. We brought her to the Megan Thee Stallion show when she was only like 11 and got her up the front somehow. And she was saying to me, like, can you get me backstage? I was like, kiddo, like dad knows like fucking you know what I mean? I don't know
Yeah,
Megan Thee Stallion's people that I could just go, hey, let my little
yeah,
one on stage. She was like, sorry, I'm gonna be on the stage anyway. I said, what do you mean? She was like, I'm gonna write this sign. You just get me up the front. I'll show her the sign, and when she sees the sign, she'll get me on stage. You can see on my Insta, it fucking happened. Like she wrote this sign, sign me, Megan. Megan Thee Stallion brought her up, signed her little sign, brought her back off the stage before all the girls started twerking and that. Put her on TikTok. She was like a star in primary school. So she likes hip hop, like she listens to like Dave, she likes a bit of Lola Brooks, she likes Doja Cat, she likes all these people I already know from from listening to her on the school run, like
yeah.
Sweetie, she likes Sweetie,
Her generation.
all the shit she should be listening to, you know
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
And that's what's beautiful about hip hop is that, it's not just hip hop. There's multiple genres of hip hop. It is and it's over 50 years old, and
But
it has grown.
sometimes, not to cut you off, sometimes if I'm in the car, like one of my favorite things to do is just, when they're at that awkward, like she's a teenager now, like, so I used to be the coolest thing in the world. Now I'm chopped liver, like, you know what I mean? So
I'm
sometimes,
starting to feel that right now.
yeah, yeah,
I'm
that's
feeling
common.
that
It's
right
common. You
now,
have to
dude.
adjust to it. It's a tough adjustment, but I'd be in the car with her and I'd be like, your dad's one of the greatest fucking MCs that ever came out of Europe. Like, she'd be like, shut the fuck up. You're not. Like, you're not. You're useless. I'd be like, your dad's one of the greatest ever did this. Like, she cracks up.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's just, listen, it's part of the game. And lucky you're blessed. And don't be worrying about getting 50. The only thing worse than getting old is not fucking getting old at all.
Amen to that.
I'm getting lit up by my Six Aside Astro group. They screenshot me and put me in the WhatsApp group chat that I'm on a podcast, but 47, and I'm still whooping ass up there every Tuesday and Thursday. So I hope they're all tuned in now, the little bastards.
Salute to them all that are tuned in, and make sure you check.
Oh, shout out Dubzino as well, by the way. Really, really dope artist from Ireland. He's about to have his moment.
Yeah, he said that. Look, Dubzino had a statement earlier, said that we need one more Rob Kelly project.
One more is on the way. One more is on the way. This year is the 20-year anniversary of Bragging Rights, so I would be remiss if I didn't. Oh, if we're doing it, are we going to do one more record and I might get out of here?
Absolutely, yes, sir. And we got Trevor Howard said he's from West Ireland.
I don't know. I might just have to send you the link for this beforehand because I don't know. I think it's only on YouTube Shorts or something. I don't know.
If you can send me the link, you're doing me a blessing in private chat. That'd be great.
No doubt.
Yeah. Okay. And thank you everybody that's tuned in live right now. And if you are new here, please, if you're enjoying the content, hit the follow button, like, subscribe, make a comment, do something to help the algorithm. Let them know about this interview. Share it out with your friends. Tell them,
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to kill the mic so I don't.
Yes, sir. But yes, again, I will say that next weekend we also have a very dope interview lined up with a DJ who is running the longest standing Twitch hip hop raid train on Twitch. It's going to be the Hippo May raid train where they mash up hip hop and anime. I've been on it multiple times, and there's so many dope DJs, and he does 3 a day, 24-hour a day, 3 days in a row raids. So DJ Prodigy will be in the house, and we'll talk to hip hop with him. But
I have to give a shout out as well to my man. I'm not gonna say my man, a fella I know, Rory O'Connor, who's been tuned in here, listening in stealth for the last few hour or so without making himself known.
Well, much love to him, man.
Yeah, much love to Rory. I know Rory's top man. I'm gonna wind him up. Good guy.
Good guy. All right, well, dope. And then tell us about what we're getting ready to listen to. Set the table for it.
Oh, so this is so Dubzino said one more Rob Kelly project. There's about 7 or 8 records in on this one. I was going to release it last year, and then my dad passed away, and then I kind of got thrown off for, obviously, you know what I mean? That's like, actually, let me go back quickly. I did Fire in the Boot in 2010. I was the first Irish artist to do Fire in the Boot, but I did it like 8 weeks after my mom passed away and my head wasn't in it. So that is one of I don't have any regrets. I know a lot of people ask about, like, what are your big regrets? It's not a regret because I still should have done it, but I did it, and I was only I was writing the verses on the plane, and then I had another guest appearance at Kiss, and I maybe did like a 24-bar dump, and I didn't want to do the same bars on the next, stupid shit that you do. So I didn't do myself justice with the Fire in the Boot. So I said, for this one, I come back, give myself a bit of a break, and come back this year for the 2026. But yeah, so this, I'm just going back to the essence. Rhyming, I don't care about singles, all that, do all what you want. I'm going over the funky drummer on this one. Rory, you fucking bollocks. Well, it's going back to just going back to the essence. So rhyming over fucking break beats, no cleared samples, no nothing. We're just going back to those early influences that you were asking me about at the start of the interview. So that's the preface for this, and this has been really dope. Thanks for a million for having me. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I don't do too many of these things because nobody fucking cares, you know that way.
Oh nah, there's a lot of people that do care, and just to say, I am very appreciative of your time and thank you. And just if I would be able to have like 2 minutes of your time
Of
before,
course.
like after we get off.
Of course, of course, of course.
Cool. But we are going to get into this song right now. This is LL Cool Cal, man. I can't wait to hear because I just heard the intro to this, and
I'll
yeah.
send you to you properly once we.
Oh man, that'll be dope, man. Sorry, I just launched. Please do not crash my. I hit Adobe Cloud link on accident, fam. And it's like, please don't. Don't crash my shit. All right, here we go, y'all. Let's get into it.
Come on. I'm a sucked in the airwaves. I hear Cal give you the grease, give you the butter. Rappers give me the creeps, give me the shudders. I should've moved to your knees, sent to your mother, and some fucker think he nicer than me. Go pull the other one, yo, it has a bell on it. Your little LP was alright, but it could've had Cal on it. For the right price, I put a shell on it. Your favorite rappers stink out the show, plus he have a smell off him. He's not getting the bitches. So much polo had the CAB getting suspicious. You don't wanna have days in the ditches. I have him outside the front door like Mayweather waiting on the twitches. And I'm tired of fellas telling me that's a true story. That's a true story, then it's too boring. I'm wilding out like McGregor on True Geordie. Yo, who's calling your face with a kettle? I'm 46, still in fine fettle. She got the Def Leppard print on, but she don't like heavy metal. Still pour some sugar on me. You might think I was a fisherman where I had the bucket high vest and I keep them hookers on me. I got the lookers on me. Robert Kelly, I can Nelly dog fucker for free. Look, the situation is overcast. Nowadays, £100 I have you in your overdrive. Broken through hacks, better get over that. Cause I'm never putting LOVE over my thick Irish bird with a body like Trina. One from Argentina that looked like Miss Nina. One Brazilian that looked just like the other one. DJ Khaled, I got another one. Take it to the head and to the body like a cupboard one. Rob Kell, show you how to give the funky drummer some. Meow, 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 still number one.
Man, listen. Man. Yes, more of that. And that's why I love the fact that hip hop, regardless of, there is no ageism in hip hop, right? The only ageism that there is the ones that we impose upon ourselves. And like that shows you that not only, are you one of the coldest or the coldest out of the whole EU, you are one of the coldest out there. I mean, because you can just flow and over, I have to say that I wasn't as familiar with you until I was like, oh yeah. And then even you have a Cincinnati connection where there's a mixtape out here. Your song that it's like by Lou Minotti, and it's Respect.
Oh yeah, shout out Illuminati.
Yeah. So yeah, Respect Mine.
Yeah.
So
That was on Lethal Hours. That was the last joint. That's me and Rim. That's the last joint on the Lethal Hours. But we had done it before that. So Illuminati's the only producer that wasn't Tony Mahoney that did that album. That shout out.
yeah.
I should get more. I'm bad man. I should get more in the chamber with Lou. Shout out.
Well,
Lou.
what's dope about this is that this track showed up on a mixtape that features a tremendous amount of Cincinnati artists like Mood and all of the folks that were out of that camp and Home Skillet and all of that. So I thought it was funny, like, you had the the same kind of story with Rhyme Fest, right? And then there was a crossover of that, and then there was a crossover on like some a hip hop like collection compilation that you showed up with that too. But the last thing I want to ask is this, and we're gonna get the hell out of here. Is that basically throughout your music career, and a lot of artists experience the same thing. You reach these peaks and then these false peaks where you think that this is the moment, and then you have everything set up, and then it's like, oh man, that falls through and you don't have anything, and you feel like you have like everything's been lifted or taken out from underneath you, and you go
Mm.
through these peaks and ups and valleys and stuff, and it's an upward climb and it's a battle. For someone who is experiencing that, myself personally, what would you advice would you give me?
See, yeah, that's a good question. So a lot of the times when you do music, you have dreams and aspirations, but in the back of your mind, they maybe not be realistic. So there's an element of belief and there's an element of delusion, right? And both of them, sometimes you question, like, am I super, am I the best in the world, or there's something wrong with me? Am I mad? Like, why am I doing this? But every time you achieve something, for me, every time I achieve what I would call a landmark or something dope happened to me, like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't believe if I was a kid, if you'd have told me when I was 15, if they said it happened to me, I would have never believed you. But then that happened to me. Then something else happened to me. So the goalposts are constantly moving. So you're constantly chasing a bigger, like an elevation to get to a certain, but that's not always realistic. Everybody's trajectory is not that way all the time. Like, so it's not something I ever beat myself up about. I was always like, if I had just got to the radio and rhymed that first night on the radio, I probably would have been happy if I'd never done anything else, because that was like what I wanted to do when I was a child. But when you look back at it all, I think you should just be happy and enjoy that it happened. That way, regardless of the outcome, because you wanted to do it, right? Something inside you made you want to do it. So whether you were right or wrong, whether you hit the peaks that everybody, the super successful people hit, or the legendary artists in the field hit, whether you did it or not, like, just look, when you're looking back at it, I think it's just for me anyway. I'm talking strictly for myself. When I look
Yeah.
back, I'm just happy that it happened. I had a mad life, dude. A mad life. Like, I'm from Wexford. I was in fucking Boston touring. I opened up for Kanye West. I did fucking Fire in the Boot. I had worked with this artist, that artist. I've been all over the world thanks to hip hop. Got to meet some of my heroes thanks to hip hop. Got to open up shows for the people that I idolized thanks to hip hop. Sold records. Like I said, go all over the world, meet different people, have friendships for life. So when you look at it, like, people always say that to me, like, "Oh, you should have made it, man. Like, you're fucking really good. Like, you should be a multi-millionaire." Like, if I had been a millionaire, I would have still had the same money I have now, because my lifestyle would have went up. I would have been no better off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just happy that it happened the way it happened, and lucky to look back at it, that way. So that's what I take out of it. And I think, like, you can strive for something now, just put the pressure off yourself, because you know what I mean. Everything now is a bonus. You already have to live in that part of your life, so just enjoy it. Don't take
Gratitude.
advice from me, by the way. I'm the worst fucking person to take advice from.
Nah, no. What you said is absolutely beautiful, and absolutely I would agree with, because it's staying present in the moment and being having gratitude in the moment, and having gratitude for the experience, regardless if there's pain that's associated with with the experience, having gratitude that you learned from that experience and had something to take away from that. And with that being said, man, it has been an honor, a privilege, and I really do, from the bottom of my heart, am very appreciative for your time and your art, your dedication to hip hop, and this craft, and the seriousness that you have shown it. And you uh, are a dope ass MC, regardless of where your locality is. I love
Oh,
the fact
thanks,
that
man.
we have like you you 100% have the respect and and you're a contemporary in this shit and someone to be respected and honored. And it's been
Cheers,
an honor.
bro. Really appreciate that. Dope show. Like I said, I don't do too much, only talk when I have something to say. So
Thank you.
enjoyed the opportunity, really enjoyed the platform. Everybody out there, like, subscribe, do all the funky shit that you need to do. Thanks, Ghost, for this op. I'll catch you on the flip top. Really enjoyed
All
it.
right.
Peace,
We
bro.
out. We out, y'all.